What's up, everybody? Out here shooting my shots. I got to do this because gym still ain't open. The gym still ain't open. But I got me a old school Dale Curry basketball here. My actual cousin. Look, man, my aunt, long time ago, before she died, she told me Dale was my cousin, and you're not going to disrespect her memory, and I'm not going to disrespect her memory. So he's my cousin, and so is Steph. All right, I'm gonna have a draft show. I'm not a draft show. A schedule release show tonight. When the schedule release, I'll come online tonight at like 4:30 Pacific. That's my time. 7:30 Eastern, and we'll talk about the teams we play and who we have primetime games against. We'll be mad at how many primetime games they give Brady over us. And all that kind of stuff. But tonight I'll be live. And let's see, the other thing I wanted to mention in this video, because there was a lot of comments, on that on the Andy Dalton thing. And then, because I was like, should I make a video that says who should be week 1 starter, Dak Prescott or Andy Dalton, and explain, my point of view of that or whatever. And I was like, no, that's just clickbait. If you see that on my title, that is clearly clickbait, and that's what the first takes and all that kind of stuff we're doing yesterday. They did it yesterday, and there's just a slight chance. I feel like, now none of us know what the truth is, but I feel like there's just a slight chance of Andy Dalton being the starter for us during the season. That means that something terribly went wrong with the Dak Prescott contract talks, and it completely broke down. But still, we're in the best case scenario. We're in the best case scenario, because if that happens, we do have a quarterback that we can go in the season with, and we can go into the playoffs with. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's near the quarterback Dak Prescott is right now in his career, but I do believe he can get us in the playoffs, and we might be able to do some stuff. But then next year we'll be able to draft another quarterback and move this thing along and whatnot, and then have a quarterback on a rookie salary that we might be able to do something with this time, instead of wasting the time with Dak Prescott. So that's the worst case scenario. That's the worst case scenario. The best case scenario, well, no, actually, the best case, there's this much chance of the best case scenario. The best case scenario is that Andy Dalton comes into Dallas and he rejuvenates himself, turns into the Red Rifle 2.0, and outplays Dak Prescott. I feel like Dak Prescott's very good. So if he outplays Dak Prescott, then Andy Dalton is a lot better right now than we thought he was. And we can go and our on the field product will be better. The only bad part of that is if we give Dak Prescott a gazillion dollars and then Andy Dalton does that, then we're in a bad place kind of with our contracts. But on the field, that would be a nasty product, because we'd have a starting quarterback that would eat you up, and then we have a backup quarterback right there. You know what I'm saying? We'd have 2 like killer quarterbacks coming at you, and it would be just so there's no bad side to this. And of course, the way this is probably going to go is the team will come together with Dak Prescott. They'll get the numbers and all the details ironed out, because I think that's the only thing left is details. They'll get the details lined out. Dak Prescott will come in as a starter. If Dak Prescott gets hurt, Andy Dalton will come in, and we're not going to skip that much of a beat. We're not. So I think this signing of Andy Dalton was brilliant. I think it's beautiful, and I think there is no downside. So don't let any haters or anybody try to say anything to rile you up, like, oh, Andy Dalton's going to come and take Jack's job because he ain't never had no receivers in Cincinnati. Now you got receivers, and you just forget that he had A.J. Green, Muhammad Sanu, Marvin Jones, another clear number 1 in Detroit, all were at his disposal. So no, don't worry. There's no downside to this. We got a great backup quarterback. The only thing I said right there was that last night I watched the Minnesota versus Dallas game on NFL Network, if you saw it yourself. I watched that game, and our passing game was just on point, and you couldn't help but salivate over the potential of what we got now compared to them, because now we're a little bit more experienced with the guys that we do have, Amari Cooper, Gallup, Dak, but we're adding another unknown element that has the potential to be like even greater than all three pieces. So the potential of our passing game is incredible. But when I was watching it, I mean, Amari Cooper was making some catches. Gallup was doing his thing. Cobb made some silly catches. Dak made 3 throws that were just like ridiculous. I mean, contorting his body and hitting people on him. It was just ridiculous, our passing offense. But it just told me how we have been making the right decisions in this offseason, because with us passing the ball like that, game-winning drive where we should have won the game, no game-winning drives, but these were big drives because it could have put us in the playoffs and over the top or whatnot. But game-winning drive, we passed the ball, have them on their heels, can't do anything to for our passing game. We passed the ball all the way down to like the 7-yard line. And it becomes 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. We decide to hand the ball off to Zeke. Now, Ezekiel Elliott and our beautiful 100 great offensive line had been stuffed the entire game. Had been completely stuffed all night long. But then Jason Garrett decides, oh, it's 2nd and 2. Let's try to run. Let's try to see if the run game works now. Like something changed. Like something, no, nothing changed. The run game was not working, and he ran 2nd and 2, gained nothing. Then it was 3rd and 2. Should have been 2 passes there, but he decides to run again, and Zeke gets knocked back 4 more yards, leaving us 4th and 6, a must passing down, and not an easy pass of 6 yards. And when we tried to hit Zeke on an out, Zeke didn't get enough separation from the linebacker. Dak couldn't get the ball out of front just in order to keep the ball in Zeke's hand, and the linebacker knocked the ball out of the way. Loss. Loss. So when I saw that, I was like, I think we made all the right decisions in getting rid of Jason Garrett. The defense looked horrible against the run that game. So getting McCoy and Poe and beefing up our middle was like major. Everson Griffin was just like destroying Tyron. I mean, he made one move on Tyron. So that makes me think, hey, that might be the next move. You know what I'm saying? That might be the next move. But what my main point in this video is, with all our moves, any direction where a hater or an Eagles fan or somebody else would try to take it, is that there's a positive outcome in that area. You know what I'm saying? So I like everything we've done so far. So let's watch the schedule release tonight, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern time, and I'll be live and we'll watch it together. All right, guys, holla at you. Peace.